It's strange how the brain works, how one moment can stretch, twist, slow down until it doesn't feel real anymore, until it feels like you're floating, watching from a distance. That's how it felt the night my friend disappeared. We were just kids, the kind that swore we weren't scared of anything, the kind that laughed too loudly, dared each other to go further. We thought we knew those woods, every trail, every shortcut, every stupid little hiding spot. But that night, something was different. The air felt thicker, the silence too deep, like the whole forest had gone still, waiting. And then there was the light, not bright, not blinding, just there. A soft pulse in the distance, hovering between the trees. It didn't flicker, didn't fade, it just watched. He was the first to notice it. He stopped mid-step, mid-laugh. I remember the look on his face, half curiosity, half something else. Something I couldn't place. We called his name. He didn't turn, didn't blink, just started walking, 1 step, 2, and then he was gone. No sound, no scream, no sign of where he had been, just gone. The air shifted, the metallic scent hit first, sharp, electric, like burnt wires. Then came the hum, deep and low, like the ground itself was breathing. My chest tightened, my body screamed to move, but I couldn't understand what I was looking at. Until I did. I saw something inside the light, a shape, a shadow. It wasn't him, it wasn't us. We ran. We didn't look back. But it wasn't until later that I realized that light wasn't just calling him. It had seen all of us. The house was quiet when I got home. Too quiet. You never realize how much noise a house makes. Creaks in the wood, distant hums from the fridge, the occasional rush of wind through an open window, until all of it stops, until silence presses in from every side. My mom asked if I was okay. I told her I was fine. She gave me this look, half worried, half unconvinced, but she didn't push. Maybe she could tell something was wrong. Maybe she could feel it too. That night, I locked my door. I didn't know why. I wasn't afraid of anything. At least that's what I told myself. It was around 2 a.m. when my phone rang. The sound cut through the silence like a blade. I jolted awake, heart hammering, fingers clumsy as I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. My brain was still shaking off sleep when I looked at the screen. And then, my stomach dropped. It was Josh's number. I just stared at it. The phone kept ringing. Every part of me was screaming to let it go to voicemail, but my hand moved on its own. I answered. Josh? Silence. A long, slow breath pushed through the speaker. Then, static, the kind that isn't just noise but something underneath it, a whisper, a sound just out of reach, and then a voice. Help me. It was his voice, but wrong, slowed, stretched, like someone was playing a recording at the wrong speed. The light, a burst of static cut through, sharp, crackling, then another whisper. Not alone. Run. The line went dead. I sat there, gripping my phone so tight my fingers ached. My whole body was numb. I checked the call log. Maybe I had imagined it, but there it was, a 3-minute call from Josh's number. I tried calling back. The number was disconnected. I stared at the screen, my breath coming too fast, my chest tight. And then another notification, a voicemail. This one wasn't just static. This one was worse. I pressed play, and I heard footsteps, slow, heavy, moving through what sounded like dry leaves, a steady, dragging sound. Then, breathing, raspy, uneven, almost wet. Then, something else, a whisper, soft, distorted, like it wasn't just one voice, but many. Let us in. Then silence, the kind that feels like something is watching you listen. I don't remember falling asleep, but at some point, I must have. It was the tapping that woke me up. Light, rhythmic, fingernails against glass. My breath hitched. Slowly I turned my head, and for a second I thought I was still dreaming. Because Josh was standing outside my window, motionless, staring. Except it wasn't him. Something in my body knew before my brain did. His face was there, his clothes, the way he stood, but his eyes, they weren't looking at me. They weren't looking at anything, just wide, empty, like they'd been hollowed out. And then, he smiled. It was slow, too slow, like he was learning how. The air inside my room felt wrong, thick, pressing against my chest. I couldn't breathe. The light outside the window flickered, and Josh, the thing wearing Josh's face, lifted one hand and pointed at the door, my bedroom door. Then the knob turned. Click. I launched myself out of bed, ran. I don't even remember unlocking the door. All I remember is bolting through the house, my heart slamming against my ribs, every muscle screaming at me to move. By the time I reached the living room, my mom was already there. "What the hell is going on?" she asked. I couldn't speak. just stood there, gasping for air, looking past her at the front door. It was wide open, and outside at the edge of the driveway, the light was waiting. The police showed up an hour later. My mom called them when I wouldn't stop shaking. They found nothing. No footprints, no open windows, no sign that anyone had ever been outside. Just an empty street, just the wind. But I know what I saw. I know it was real, and I know deep down that it wasn't over. Because later that night, my phone buzzed one last time. No message, no voicemail, just a picture, blurry, too dark to make out. But I knew what it was. It was my bedroom window, taken from outside, and in the reflection, something standing behind me. You ever convince yourself that something didn't happen? That if you ignore it long enough, it'll just go away? That's what I tried to do. I told myself the phone calls were just a glitch, that maybe I had been half asleep, dreaming the whole thing, that maybe I had imagined Josh standing outside my window. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. Because 3 nights after Josh disappeared, the light came back. I don't know why I went back. Maybe I needed to see it again. Maybe I needed proof. Or maybe it was already pulling me in. All I know is that I waited until midnight, grabbed a flashlight, and walked out the back door without telling anyone. The woods were different this time. The trees felt taller, the air thicker, and the silence? It wasn't just stillness, it was watching. With every step, the temperature dropped. My breath curled in front of me in white puffs, my fingers ached from the cold. And then, I saw it. The light, not far this time, not deep in the woods, it was closer, pulsing, flickering, like it was breathing. I should have turned around, I should have left, but I didn't. I stepped forward, just one step, then another. The ground beneath me felt strange, too soft, like I wasn't walking on dirt anymore, but something else. Then, a voice right behind me. Don't. I froze. The flashlight flickered. I turned. No one was there, just trees, just empty space, just silence. Then the light pulsed, and something moved inside it. I wasn't in the woods anymore. I wasn't anywhere. I was floating, weightless, suspended in a blinding, empty space. There was no ground beneath me, no sky above me, just light and the whispers. Soft at first, indistinct, a hum beneath my thoughts. But the longer I floated, the clearer they became. Not just one voice, many. They were all around me. Some whispered my name, some begged, some screamed. Then I saw it. Not a person, not a thing, just a shape, standing in the light, watching me. It had no face, no features, but I could feel it looking at me. And then it spoke. Not out loud, not in words, but inside me. It doesn't want us, it wants more. The light pulsed again, and something stepped out. I wanted to run. I needed to run, but I couldn't move. It was Josh, or at least, it looked like him. Same height, same clothes, same everything. But something was wrong. His arms were too still, his head tilted too far, and his eyes, God, his eyes, they weren't eyes anymore, just 2 endless black voids. And they were locked onto me. He opened his mouth and whispered, "Let us in." I thought leaving the woods would make it stop, that if I got far enough away, if I ignored it long enough, it would just fade into some distant nightmare I could convince myself never happened. But nightmares don't leave voicemail messages, and they don't knock on your door. The next morning, I did something I hadn't done before. I started digging, not in the ground, in records. If there was a story about the woods, about the light, about people disappearing, there had to be something in the town archives, a missing persons report, a legend, anything. And that's when I found it. A name, one I had never heard before. Elliot Grayson, reported missing in 1986. Last seen in the woods behind the old power station. Same place where Josh vanished, same place where the light appeared. But here's the thing, Elliot wasn't just missing. He came back. 12 years later, no explanation, no memory of where he had been. Or at least that's what he told them, because 2 months after his return, he disappeared again. For good. No body, no leads, just an empty house with the front door left wide open. The last person to see him? His wife. She told the police something strange, that he had been acting normal for weeks. No signs of trauma, no gaps in his memory, no struggle, until one night he woke her up. Just standing over her in the dark, not moving, just watching. She asked what was wrong, and all he said was, "It let me go, but it wants someone else now." It had been 6 days since Josh disappeared, 6 days since the light, since the voicemail, since I saw something outside my window. I hadn't slept, hadn't answered my phone, hadn't told anyone what I found in the archives, because I was afraid. Afraid that if I said it out loud, if I acknowledged it, I would be next. And then on the 7th night, there was a knock at my door. Soft, rhythmic, 3 times. I sat up in bed, my whole body frozen. I waited, hoping, praying whoever it was would go away. Then the knocking came again, but slower, more deliberate. I climbed out of bed, my legs stiff, my breath locked in my chest. I don't know why I did it, but I opened the door, and there he was. Josh, or at least something wearing him. I don't know how long I stood there, just staring, because it was him. Same face, same clothes, but the eyes, God, the eyes. Like they weren't looking at me, but through me. His lips moved, and his voice was just a little too deep. It let me go. But it wants someone else now. The silence after that stretched forever. I should have slammed the door. I should have screamed. I should have done anything. But I didn't. Because then Josh leaned forward and whispered, "You should run." Then he turned and walked away. Into the street, into the dark. And the second he stepped beyond the reach of my porch light, the street light above him flickered, and the light was there. I slammed the door, locked it, shut the curtains, but it didn't matter. Because that night, as I lay in bed, my heart hammering in my chest, I saw it again, through the gap in my curtains, outside my window, closer this time. Not just in the woods, not just in the street, but waiting. I don't think it was ever about Josh. I think it was always about me, and now it's my turn. Because last night, I saw the light again, and this time it was closer. I don't know how long I sat there staring at the window. Maybe an hour, maybe all night, waiting for the light to move, waiting for it to disappear. But it didn't. It just stood there, pulsing, breathing, and I swear I could feel it thinking. It's been 3 days since Josh came back, 3 days since he warned me, 3 days since the light appeared outside my window, and last night, it was inside my room. So I have to ask, would you step into the light? What do you think happened to Josh? What do you think happens to the ones who disappear, but come back? Or worse, the ones who never do? Have you ever seen a light like this before? If you have, let us in.